Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope my voice is clearly audible. You can simply raise your hands to confirm this. Okay, great, great. So, all right, guys. So we are waiting for a few more candidates to join in, right? So once they join, we'll start the session very soon, right? And just for everyone's information, uh, during the live session, any doubt that you have, right? You can ask in the chat section itself. I'll be addressing your doubts one by one, right? All right, so let's wait for 5 minutes and we'll proceed ahead with the session then. All right, guys. So once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the session. Right, so this is your first session for your batch, right? And I can see a lot of doubts pouring out. So I'll be addressing and answering your doubts, right, one by one. And before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Rohit Rajalheria, and I'm working as a data scientist in the current organization for past 3.5 years, right? And the total work experience that I have as a data scientist is 5 years, right? So I'm working as a mentor in the current organization, and I'll be conducting your initial few sessions. Right, so it's completely understood that a few of you are from a non-technical background, right? So this course is structured in that way that you'll be able to cope up with the course if you follow along with the topics and these concepts that we are discussing in the live sessions. Right, so if anyone is not able to hear my voice clearly, it's advised to please rejoin the session and this will resolve your problem. Right, the session is broadcasting very fine from my end. There are no audio or video related issues. All right, so let me just walk you through the initial few phases of the course, and then you'll have a better idea, right, how you can work along with the concepts those are discussed in the live session. All right, so okay, so before we begin, let me take a few words related to the candidates who are already working professionals could raise their hands so that I get to know the ratio of working versus non-working candidates. All right. Okay, so I'm lowering everyone's hands here, right? So presuming those who have not raised their hands, they are non-working professionals, right? And okay, and let me take the votes for the candidates who are still in their graduation phase. Is there anyone who's still there in their graduation phase? You can simply raise your hands. Okay, okay, great. Great. So we have a handful of candidates who are from the who are still in their graduation phase, right? So presuming you are doing your bachelor's as of now, right? So this course is, let me just give you a brief overview of how your course is structured, right? And this will help you to understand how initial few months are going to be in this particular course, right? So yes, we'll be covering all the, let's say, concepts along with their practical implementation, all right? And we'll be discussing, let me tell you about the modules that we'll be discussing, right? So initially, we'll start with statistics, right? As statistics, it forms the basic foundation of your data science journey, right? Or the machine learning that you're going to learn later, right? Next is we are going to learn about a programming language called SQL. This stands for Structured Query Language. It's a structured query language, and this basically will help you to retrieve data, all right? Basically to collect data, right? Moving on, we'll proceed ahead. We'll also learn about implementation in Excel, both at basic level. We'll have a basic Excel and the advanced as well, all right? So basic part will be done in the initial phase of your learning phase, all right, or initial few sessions, and advanced is going to be part of your electives, right? So advanced statistics, you'll learn about various implementations or implementation of advanced statistical topics on Excel, right? So this will cover advanced Excel, and then we'll also learn about Python. All right, so Python is a general purpose programming language, right? So this will help you throughout the course. All the implementations of machine learning models we are going to do on Python. All right. So moving ahead, we'll learn the machine learning. All right. So machine learning is basically machine learning basically forms the basic foundation for your data science. All right. So this is going to be overall implementation or overall journey that you're going to have, right? And then after this, you'll also learn about web scraping, how you can collect data from internet. Right. So after web scraping, here you'll learn about Beautiful Soup and Selenium. All right. And after this, you're going to proceed ahead with your electives phase. Right. So in electives, you have various options to select from. Right. So when the right time comes, we'll provide you with the options. And along with that, we'll also provide you a guidance how you can select electives based on your interest. Right. So just for everyone's information, all of these will be covered right from scratch. Right. So everything is going to be covered from scratch. All right. So this will basically help those students or those candidates who belong from a non-IT background. All right. So, okay, I can see a few doubts related to Anaconda, Navigator installation or MySQL installation, right? So for both of these, for any kind of installations, if you're not able to, right, if you're not able to install any of the softwares that were installed in the uh, previous session held on last Saturday, right? So you can simply raise a ticket, right? Simply raise a ticket to academics team, right? So the team will help you out related to any installation related queries. All right. So everything is going. Everything we are going to cover from scratch. So you need not to worry, right? So if in case something is not understood clearly, you're free to ask in the live session itself in the chat section, right? I'll be addressing your doubts. All right. So, guys, I believe my voice is clearly audible. You can simply raise your hands to confirm. Okay. Okay. Great. All right. So, how to raise a ticket and how to, let's say, connect with the technical team on chat support. These instructions were given in your orientation session, right? So, I hope everyone they attended the orientation session. Otherwise, you can directly give a call to the customer care team, right? They'll help you out. All right. So, see, okay, I can see doubt from one of these candidates saying is English compulsory, right? So just to give you this idea that uh, as a data scientist or as a data analyst, right? As a data scientist or as a data analyst, you'll be working on the data, right? And once you'll be working with the data, you'll be basically you'll be documenting all your findings, right? So documentation part will be prepared based on how you have analyzed the data, what outcomes or what insights or what information does the data convey according to you. All these findings you have to document, right? And this documentation will be made in English because it is, I hope everyone understands that these positions are available in the corporates, right? And in corporates, English is, of course, required, which is why this particular course will be conducted like throughout your learning phase in English language only. All right. So, yes, English is important, right? And you need to, while, let's say, while conveying the information or while conveying the findings, of your analysis, you'll have to convey the same information in English because uh, most of the corporates, they are multinational companies, right? And MNCs, they work in more than one country. And since English is the most common language of interaction between, uh, in the corporates, so which is why, yes, English is required, right? All right, so Tableau, Power BI, R programming, and let's say deep learning and NLP, all of these will be part of your electives, right? So I hope everyone noticed that I just mentioned towards the end that you'll be having various electives, right? So Power BI, Tableau, all of these will be part of this, right? So let's say deep learning, NLP, R, etc. These will be part of your electives. All right. So basically, the installations those were carried out, right, related to MySQL and Anaconda, right? These you'll be needing from month 2, right? From the second month of your learning phase. In the initial first month, we'll be working on Excel. So this is for the first month. So if anyone is having any issues in installation of MySQL or Anaconda, you can simply get it resolved. You have around 1 month to get this resolved, right? So no need to hurry. Simply raise a ticket and the team will get in touch with you. All right. In the initial few sessions, we'll be working on Excel. Right. So, okay, neural networks is part of deep learning. This will be covered in the part of your electives. Right. So if anyone is not able to raise a ticket or do not know how to raise a ticket, any, let's say, ticket related issues or any platform related issues, if you're not able to log into your LMS or something related to that, right? You simply get in touch with the career coach team. Simply get in touch with your career coach team, right? They'll help you out in all the process, right? During the live sessions, I'll only address doubts related to subject matter, right? So if anyone has doubts how to raise a ticket or how to get in touch with the technical team on chat, or let's say how to log into your LMS, please get in touch with your career coach team. All right. I will be only addressing subject related doubts. All right. So subject related doubt is anything that is going on in the current live session. All right. For every other query or any other questions, simply get in touch with your career coach team. They'll help you out. All right. So any, let's say, any LMS related issues, any, let's say, any of your sessions is not uploaded, or you're not able to find any of these sessions in your LMS, you need to get in touch with the career coach team. All the upload related issues or all the operational related issues, simply get in touch with the career coach team. Career coach team is basically one-stop solution for all your queries, right? Apart from the technical queries or the subject matter related queries, right? So for subject matter related queries, you need to get in touch with the technical team. All right. And this technical team is available both on chat as well as on tickets. Right. You can ask any of your doubts, and this technical team is available on chats and tickets from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. IST. This is Indian Standard Time every day, right? So this is 24 into 7. All right. So all basically all 7 days a week. right? This is 7 days a week. Every day the team is available from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Indian Standard Time, right? If you're into some other time zone, adjust the time accordingly, right? Based on what difference you have from the Indian Standard Time. Right? So there are no emails to get in touch with the career coach team or technical team, right? You can always give a call to the career coach team. All right. All right. So apart from that, all the every other things, those are going to be covered. You'll get to know when the right time comes. Right. We'll provide you all the informations related to what phases you're currently what phase is going on for your batch. All right. So let's proceed ahead and start with the basics of statistics. Right. So let me just walk you through that. In statistics, we are going to cover. We'll start with the descriptive statistics. Right. And what descriptive statistics is, it will basically give you the basic description or basic information of the data. Basic information of the data. All right. Moving ahead, we'll discuss about the inferential statistics. Right, and inferential statistics basically tells you about the relationship between data. How your data is related, how one data is related to the other, right? All these. You'll get the information from inferential statistics. Next is the predictive statistics or predictive analytics. Right, so here we'll basically make predictions of the future based on the past data. This is, in other terms, known as the machine learning. All right, and finally, there's a fourth type of statistics, which is prescriptive statistics. All right, and prescriptive statistics is basically providing some or the other kind of suggestions to improve your decision making based on the data that you have analyzed, right? The analysis that you have done on the data, you can give various suggestions how current business model can be improvised, right? So this falls into the prescriptive statistics. These are the four types of statistics we are going to cover. All right, and everywhere statistics will be used, and hence it becomes one of the most important topics to be learned and mastered if you want to, let's say if you want to work in the data science industry, because data science basically uses the statistics as its foundation, and based on the results that you'll be getting from the statistical analysis, those results will be directly or indirectly influencing your machine learning or data science, or basically data-driven decisions. All right. So let me give you this overview one more time. We'll be covering statistics in 4 parts, or basically statistics is completely divided into 4 parts only. First is the descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics gives you a basic information of the data, right? And statistics is one of the foundational subjects or foundational subject matter for machine learning or data science, right? This will give you the basic description of the data, basic information, how your data is, right? All the, let's say, statistical figures you'll get from descriptive statistics. When we start with the descriptive statistics, I'll walk you through each of the topics, each of the concepts, how you can analyze the data mathematically, right? The second thing, or the second part, is the inferential statistics. In inferential statistics, we'll be working with finding the relationships between the data points or the data set that you're dealing with, right? Majorly, you'll be working with the tabular form of data, right? Majorly the tabular data. Tabular data is basically any data that is structured in the form of a table, right? And in tables, we basically have rows and columns, right? So almost every time you'll be working with the tabular form of data, right? And this is both related to supervised and unsupervised, right? So we'll discuss about supervised and unsupervised when the time comes, right? Just for the current information, you can grab that you'll be working on the tabular form of data, where your data will be structured in the form of rows and columns, right? Basically a table. All right. So statistics in simple terms, it basically means finding informations from the data sets, right? And all these statistical models, they are built in such a way that they'll be able to find patterns in the data set, right? So we'll be discussing about these patterns. We'll be discussing about the concepts, right? We'll be covering everything from scratch. The third part is the predictive analytics, where we'll be making predictions based of the future based on the past data, right? So all the, let's say, basic description that you have, right? The relationships that you have established between your columns, all these will be used to train a model and make predictions of the future. All right. So all these patterns will be analyzed and then we'll make predictions of the future, right? So this basically falls into the bucket of machine learning. This is the, in simple terms, these are the machine learning that you're going to learn, right? And finally, we have the prescriptive statistics. Here will basically provide suggestions to improvise the task that we are doing, right? So if we are, let's say, if you're working as a data scientist or a data analyst for an organization, you will basically help them improvise their business strategies, improvise their, let's say, decision making, etc. All right. So these are the 4 types of statistics that we are going to cover. All right. So before we proceed ahead, let me suggest you some of the books that you can follow for reference. Right. Let me give you some books related to all the topics and modules. All right. So there are basically 4 modules for which you will basically you'll be required to follow book for references, right? So the first is the statistics. Here, statistics, you can follow a book called Think Stats. All right, and Think Stats, this is the name of the book, and this is from O'Reilly Publications. All right. So this is for statistics. Second, you'll be in need to follow a book for SQL. all right, which is a structured query language. It's a programming language that will help you to collect data, that data which is stored in a database. All right. So for SQL, you can follow a book called Learning SQL. All right. This is again from the O'Reilly publications. Third is for Python. Python is basically a programming language, right? And here for Python, I'll suggest two books. First is Learning Python. All right. This is again from O'Reilly publications. And the second book that we have is Core Python Programming. Core Python Programming. And this is from Dream Tech Publications. All right. So this particular book, Core Python Programming, is from Indian author called Dr. R. Nageshwar Rao. Right. So he's an Indian author. So basically, all the Indian authors, they use a simple form of English as compared to the international, let's say, internationally spoken English, right? So it will basically help you. It will be more in a simpler language. It will help you to grab the concepts very quickly, right? And then we have for machine learning, right? And the name of the book for machine learning is Hands-on Programming. This is Hands-on Machine Learning with scikit-learn, Keras, and TensorFlow. Right? This is the name of the book. And this is again from O'Reilly Publications. All right. So these are the books that you can follow for reference if you need some additional materials. All right. So if anyone wants to take a screenshot of this, you're free to do. Right. Meanwhile, I'll see if any of the doubts that I've got. Right. So if you want a detailed curriculum, again, if you want a detailed curriculum of the course, you again get in touch with the career coach team. All right. So all these books are available on Amazon. Right. All these books are available on Amazon. And it is right. You can simply make a purchase on Amazon for these books. Simply search for the book or the publication house. You'll get the access, or you'll easily find the books. Always buy the latest edition. Right? This is needless to say, always buy the latest edition of the book. Right? This is the most updated version of any book, latest edition. All right. So this is purely a choice. It's not compulsory. It's purely a choice. All right. This is purely a choice. If you want to follow some reference books, you can follow these books. Additionally, if you have any other book, that is also equivalently good. Right? All right. This is not mandatory. Already mentioned, not compulsory. This is not compulsory. If you want to follow books, you can follow these books. Yes, if you want to follow any other book for any of these modules, it is completely okay. These are just some reference books that I have suggested. These are suggestions. This is not compulsory to purchase, right? If anyone wants to make a purchase, these are easily available on Amazon. All right. Okay. So moving ahead, let me also give you some references on the internet, right? How you can use internet to learn more. All right. Guys, I've already informed that I'll only be addressing what we are discussing in the current session, right? Only doubts related to what we are discussing in the current session. If you have any operational related issues, right, you please get in touch with the career coach team. They are the best people to answer all your queries. Right. So proceeding ahead, how you can use internet to learn the concepts, to resolve any error that you'll get during the execution of any code, right? We'll proceed ahead. First is, let's say, you can always go through blogs, right? And blogs on the platforms like Medium, towards data science, right? These are some of the popular platforms for machine learning or data science related blogs, right? So this will cover all the topics, right? From, let's say, Python, SQL, statistics, machine learning, right? Deep learning, NLP, any related to any topic. If you want more clarity on any of the concepts, you can simply search for the relevant topics on Medium and towards data science. All right. So these are various specialization fields of machine learning, deep learning, and NLP. They belong to machine learning only, but the type of data that will be addressing or the methods that will be using, right? Those will be different, right? For example, in NLP, it stands for natural language processing, right? Natural language processing, right? So we'll basically be processing the natural language. Natural language is a language that is used by human beings for interaction. Right? And these natural language could be any language, starting with, of course, the most common spoken language, which is English. Right? Apart from that, we have various other languages like German, French, right? Sanskrit, Hindi, or any other language that human use for interaction, right? Since English is the most common language, that is why most of the, let's say, modules or libraries, they are developed keeping English in mind, right? And deep learning is basically, DL stands for deep learning. Deep learning and machine learning, these are considered as the brain of AI, right? So these are some of the topics related to which you'll easily find blogs on towards data science and machine and Medium, right? So these are the two platforms you can easily find. I'll also show you demonstration of the same, how you can find a particular topic on these platforms, right? Now, moving ahead, this is with respect to how you can read blogs, right? You should also read research papers from time to time. All right. try to get access of the research papers. Those are published related to data science or machine learning, right? Any machine learning, or let's say any deep learning related research papers, so that you are up to date with the current technology that is used in the market. All right. Now, second thing is, let's say when you'll be working or you'll be learning, you'll also be learning programming languages, right? And those programming languages will be executed on Jupyter Notebook, right? For which, and the Jupyter Notebook is basically embedded in Anaconda Navigator, which is why we have the first session, we showed you how you can install Anaconda in your local system, right? So when you'll be learning any of the programming languages, you'll face a lot of errors. Let's say you run some code and that code is not running because there is some or the other kind of error in your code. So all the errors, any error that you get during execution, you can resolve these errors on the platforms like Stack Overflow. I'm sure those who are from the technical background, they already are using Stack Overflow, right? So, okay, let me take, let's say, votes for this. You can simply raise your hands if you're already using Stack Overflow or you have heard Stack Overflow at some or the other point. All right. Okay, so I can see a few of you. Right, that's good. That's good. Right. And other platform that we have is Data Science Exchange. All right. So Stack Overflow is one of the platforms where you can easily resolve your errors. All right. So if you don't know about Stack Overflow, we'll of course show you the demonstration of the same, right? Now, the third thing is when you're learning any of the topics, any of the concepts, right? All right. So whenever you'll be learning any of the topics, you also need to practice the same. If you don't practice enough, you'll not be able to hold the concepts, right? Retaining knowledge is one of the most important thing. All right. So retaining knowledge is one of the most important thing, and you'll be able to retain knowledge only when you practice enough, right? So everything that you're going to learn can be implemented, executed practically. So that part is more important, right? Concepts are of course important, but the implementation of the concept is more important, right? So you need to practice regularly. And there are some platforms like HackerRank, right? We have CodeChef. These are some of the platforms where you can practice your Python and SQL programming, right? Python and SQL or any other language that you want to master. All right. All right. So you can practice your Python and SQL on these platforms, CodeChef and HackerRank. Right. I'll show you this as well. All right. And the books I have already mentioned, right, for reference. And then finally, when your machine learning will be like machine learning, you'll be learning the machine learning part. You can practice your machine learning. All right, on platforms like Kaggle. You'll easily get the problem statement and data set on Kaggle, and you'll be able to, like, with enough knowledge, you'll be able to build machine learning models on that. All right. So these are some of the reference on internet that you can use to, let's say, enhance your learning. All right. So these are the sources on internet. So let me show you one by one, right? Starting with the blogs. All right. So let me show you this one by one. All right. So starting with, let's say you did not understand about the types of statistics, right? And you want to explore more on the same, you can simply write the name of the topic followed by, let's say I want to search it on towards data science. All right. So let's say I want to search it on towards data science. So these are basically the topics that you can, or these are the blogs that you can directly access. All right. You'll easily find a lot of authors for the same. You simply have to, let's say, sign up with your Google account, or you can sign in with your email, and you'll have access to these blogs. Right. So this way you can explore more on any topic. Right. So let's say I did not understand or want to explore more on, let's say, descriptive statistics. I'll simply mention descriptive statistics, and you'll get a lot of blogs, right? You can read the title of the blog. Let's say, how do we describe data is the title of the blog, and here descriptive statistics will be used, and towards data science is basically the platform on which this is available. All right, so this is how you can simply access, or let's say, beginner's guide to descriptive statistics in Python. All right, or understanding descriptive statistics, introduction to data processing using descriptive statistics. All these basically are related to descriptive statistics only. You can simply click on any one of these, and you'll again be able to get the access once you log in, right? So this is how you can basically explore more on the internet and use these to understand each of your topics that you're learning, right? Same goes, let's say if you want to search it on Medium, you simply replace towards data science with Medium, right? And you'll get blogs on Medium as well for the same topic. right? So yes, of course, you can, for those who are learning from watching videos, you can explore these topics on YouTube as well, right? So this is completely okay. And this is how, let's say if you search something on Medium, you can simply get the Medium links, all right, on medium.com. If you're searching the same on towards data science, you'll get towards data science related links. All right, so this is how you're going to search. Let's say I'll just repeat this. You'll simply write the name of the topic. Let's say I'll simply search the descriptive statistics. All right, and I want to search it on, let's say, towards data science. I'll simply write towards data science, right? And you'll get a lot of blogs related to this. All right. So Medium and towards data science, as already informed, these are blog-based websites, right? Where you'll easily find blogs related to any technical topic of data science or machine learning. All right. Now, moving on with the second part, which is if you're facing any error, you can simply go to Stack Overflow for that particular error, right? So for example, let's say, I hope everyone knows that in mathematics, you cannot divide any number with 0 because it is not defined in mathematics, right? So what if accidentally you divide any number by 0, Python will throw an error that it basically is a 0 division error, right? So let's say you get a 0 division error, simply write 0 division error and simply write Stack Overflow, right? You'll find a lot of errors or right. So basically error in Python, and this is 0 division error. This is the error that you'll get, right? Or you'll get the error in this form. Only this part is the error. All right. So guys, these are just the extra references that I'm giving you so that you can explore at your end as well. All right. So these are some extra references because always you'll be needing some or the other references to understand something in a better way or in more detailed manner. All right. Although we'll be covering everything from scratch to details, but still for very small doubts, you can gain more clarity by going through some documented on the same topic. All right. So which is why books and these blogs are recommended to read. Simply make a habit of reading these blogs. This will help you to gain more clarity. All right. Now, I was explaining about the this particular error. So let's say that you got this error, and this is the code that is written, right? So basically, what he is doing is he's defining x as 0, y as 0, and basically is dividing x by y, right? So this will basically give you a 0 division error. All right, and it clearly says this is how you'll get the error, right? So simply once you get the error, you can simply copy paste this error on Google and you'll find the solutions to it. All right. So of course I can understand. Let's say, so this is the error, right? And these are a few answers to resolution of these errors, right? You can go through this and you'll be able to resolve your errors in this way. All right. So this is just an example that I'm giving you. Right. And this is completely understood that this is basically understood when you'll be working in, let's say, any programming languages like Python, right, or SQL, you'll get a lot of errors in the beginning phase or throughout your career throughout your career, you'll get one or the other error when you'll be working with Python and SQL or any other programming language. All right. So you need to resolve that error, and to resolve that error, you have to understand the error first. Why you're getting an error? If you understood that, understood this thing, it will be very easy for you to resolve that particular error. Right? So resolution of the error is important when you're working with programming languages. Your code should be flawless. Right? It should be errorless. Your code should be errorless. Then only your code will run successfully in the production. All right. So for your code to be errorless, you have to use the concepts of Python and SQL to execute this, right? And for it to be errorless, if any error you get, you simply have to understand the error, and then only you'll be able to resolve it. If you're not able to understand the error, you will never be able to resolve it, right? So, which is why these platforms will help you to understand the error that you are getting. Right? Now, moving ahead. Moving ahead with the practice-based platforms like HackerRank, right? So let me just show you. Let's say HackerRank, I'll simply open the platform here. So if you go to hackerrank.com, this is the home screen that you'll see, right? You need to create your account. Simply sign up here, and you'll be able to, once you sign up, you'll get the choice of selecting the programming language that you want to practice, right? So you can simply, there are more than one programming language that you can practice on these platforms, right? So these will help you to, let's say, let me open one of the, right? Let me open and show you how you'll get to see, right? So let's say this is the SQL programming. All right. So once you log in, once you sign up here, once you sign up with a registered email ID, right, your account will be created. And once your account is created, you'll get an option to select the programming language that you want to practice. Select language. So so you can simply select Python and SQL. All right, one by one. So let's say this is the SQL that I've selected, and these are the questions here, right? You can simply click on one of these questions and see how these are structured, right? So let's say if I click here, I'll simply click on solve challenge. Right. So although it's prompting for a sign up here, right? So once you, let's say, sign in, right, you'll be able to see the question. So let's say this is the question here, right here. This is the question. This is the table, and you have the input and output that is desired, right? So once you learn SQL, you'll get to know this is basically, and this is the area where you have to write your code, right? So once you write your code, you can simply click on this run code. So this will run your code, and you'll get to know whether here you'll get the output. All right, this is the area where you'll get the output if your code is running successfully. If it is not running successfully, then you'll get an error here. All right, now you have to resolve this error so that your code could be errorless, right? So once you run your code, you can submit this code to make your submission, right? So it's basically how your complete profile will be built based on the types of problem that you're solving. All right. So these platforms, HackerRank and CodeChef or LeetCode, they basically keep record of all the questions that you're solving related to any programming language, and they'll basically build your profile. Later on, when you'll be appearing for technical interviews, you can simply mention your HackerRank profile in your resume, right? This puts a lot of impact, a positive impact, right? This gives an overview to the interviewer that yes, you have practiced the programming languages related to data science and machine learning, and you'll be able to execute them successfully, right? It gives a positive impression on the interviewer. If they go through your, let's say, HackerRank profile or Lead Code profile or CodeChef profile, these are some of the popular platforms. All right, so this is how you can simply go through the complete. Right, so let's say these are the, once you log in, these are the topics. These are the topics that you can select from. All right, so we can select Python and we can select SQL. So these two are the programming languages that you're going to learn in this particular course. All right, also databases, you'll learn about regex as well, right? You'll learn basics of data structures as well. So these are a few topics that you can practice on this particular platform. All right, although data structure is with respect to general, let's say any programming language, right? Any programming language. So every programming language has a different set of data structures. All right, they have different set of data structures. So with respect to Python, when your Python data structures will be covered, we'll discuss all the data structures. Those are used in Python, right? So that you get this idea how you can filter questions based on the data structures part. All right. You can also prepare for interviews as well on these platforms, right? So you have interview preparation kit. You can simply explore this at your end, right? Simply explore this particular platform, what all products are available, how it can help you to improve your skills and get you ready for the industry. All right. So they have 1 month preparation, 1 week preparation, etc. All right, so you can simply explore these platforms. In the similar way, we have CodeChef. Right, so if I click on CodeChef, this is practical coding for everyone. All right, so here also you can simply make your profile, and if you click on, let's say, practice or learn or compete, right, you'll start to see the challenges. These are basically challenges, right? You can simply click on any of this challenge and you'll see the problem statement, right? So this is the statement here. This part is the problem statement, right? These are some of the, let's say, explanation of the test cases. You'll get sample input and output, how your code should look like. And here in this part, you can select the programming language. So it's C++ here. Let's select Python. So this is Python 3. I'll select Python 3, right? So you have to write your code here. And as usual, you'll see the output in this area and you can run the code to see the output. All right. All right. So this is how your code chef will look like, right? Again, here also you can simply create your profile and start building your profile on these platforms. All right. Now let's proceed ahead with discussion here, right? So how much, let's discuss about how much effort is required from your end, right? How much effort is required? Let's talk about the efforts here, right? So let's say live lectures are, I'll be explaining the concept, you'll be collecting it, right? You'll try to understand in the live session. If you're not able to understand, you'll simply go through the recordings of the live session, because let's say going through concepts twice or thrice will give you a clarity of the concept. All right. Now, apart from that, you need to practice, right? Practice basically is the implementation. These are the implementations that you'll be doing in your implementations of the concepts that you're going to learn. All right. So practice will consume time. Learning new concepts will consume time. Learning concepts is going to consume a lot of time. All right. And the second thing is practice. These are the two things that is required. So let's say combining both of these, you should dedicate at least 4 hours daily. At least this is minimum, right? This is minimum requirement. You need to devote at least 4 hours daily to learn something new, right? And there are a lot of topics and concepts that you are going to learn throughout your learning phase. And then apart from learning, you have to practice them as well. So it will consume some time, right? And once it consumes time, you have to devote some extra time. I can completely understand that most of you are working professionals, right? But let me give you this clarity as well, that this is your career that you want to change, right? And to change your career, you have to put some extra efforts, right? You have to put some extra efforts, and then only you'll be able to make it possible. All right. So this is purely up to you how you're going to manage to devote at least 4 hours on daily basis to learn something that can change your future. All right. Everyone has a different schedule. Everyone has a different shift timings, right? Everyone is working in various industries. That is completely understood. But since it's your career that you want to change, it is your responsibility to manage the time so that you can learn something new, right? So this is the minimum effort that is required from your end. All right. So these are the efforts. Now, we have discussed quite few things, right? Let me just give you a quick summary, right? I gave you a brief about the modules that you'll be covering, right? Starting from statistics that will basically form the foundation of machine learning, right? SQL, this will help you to collect data from databases that is already stored with the company, right? Then you'll be using Excel, right? Excel is almost used everywhere by every working professional in their day-to-day activities, right? So data science and machine learning, or let's say data scientist or data analyst, they're also using Excel, right? Next is you'll be learning about Python, which is a general purpose programming language, right? All the implementations of machine learning, data analysis, basically almost everything, right? You'll be doing using Python only, right? So next is machine learning. Machine learning is just a concept, right? Implementation of machine learning can be done on various programming languages, and Python is one of the most popular programming language that is used for the implementation of machine learning. All right. Next is you'll also learn about some web scraping techniques, how you can scrap data from open sources, right? So for example, let's say if you want to collect all the products from Amazon, all the information about all the products from Amazon, this is possible. And how this is possible, you'll learn about this in web scraping part, right? Next is you'll be in electives, you'll be covering the modules like Power BI, Tableau, deep learning, NLP, R, advanced Excel, etc. Right? So, of course, there will be a different session held to walk you through what these electives are and how they will help you if you select any particular elective, how it is going to structure your career or structure your interest of learning in the specialization of machine learning. Right? And then moving ahead, clearly mentioned, right? For any installation related queries, you simply raise a ticket to the academics team. All right. Now, English is important for any data scientist or any professional working in corporate sector, right? In corporates, English is of course required, right? You'll be interacting with your clients, you'll be interacting with your let's say colleagues, right? Everywhere English is used, right? Because let's say, for example, if you are working in a multinational company and this multinational company, basically their employees will be from all the nations, right? And if any employee is not an Indian, is a non-Indian, right? So the most common language of interaction will be English, which is why you need to know English, right? Next, I've also clearly mentioned that MySQL and Anaconda, you'll be using it from second month. So you have almost 1 month of time. So if any one of you is not able to install Anaconda and MySQL on your own, you have 1 month of time to get it resolved, right? So you don't have to hurry. You don't have to be in hurry. All right. And this is one of the most important point here. If you have any operational related issues, any let's say platform related issues or LMS related issues, simply get in touch with your career coach team. They'll help you out. Right? Career coach team is one-stop solution to all your problems. All right. How to get in touch with technical team, how to raise a ticket, how to get in touch with uh, the organization, right? All these informations will be provided by career coach team, right? I'll be addressing only subject matter related issues or subject matter related queries in the live session, right? And subject matter related queries are basically, for example, let's say if we are covering statistics, I'll be answering doubts only related to statistics in that particular session, right? You have to understand this. All right. So, okay, one of you is asking, are we going to learn about how to develop an app? So you're not going to learn about how to develop an app, right? Because developing an app is part of a developer, right? Application development is not part of machine learning, right? This is part of software engineer. This is the role of a software engineer in the industry. All right. And there's something called software engineering that you need to do to learn how to develop an app. All right, so there are multiple Python libraries that we are going to cover, right? If I start mentioning all of them in this session, it will be very difficult because there are a lot of, there's a long list of modules or libraries that we'll be covering, right? Moving ahead, we discussed about why and how statistics is important and what are the 4 types of statistics that we'll be using. All right, so these are the 4 types. Descriptive statistics basically will give you the basic description of the data, basic information. Moving ahead with the inferential statistics, it will tell you about the relationship between your columns. All right, next is the predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is nothing but it is machine learning that you're going to learn. And then we have the prescriptive statistics, in which you'll be giving suggestions based on your findings, all right? So that decision making can be improved, which will directly impact the business. All right, and then I recommended a few books related to statistics, SQL, Python, and machine learning. Right, these are the books that you can follow. I'm mentioning one more time. These are not mandatory. All right, this is purely your choice. If you want to purchase these books for a better understanding, this is purely up to you, right? And if you feel live lectures and let's say internet is enough, that is again purely up to you, right? I also told you about how you can explore or how you can use internet to learn machine learning or data science in a better way, right? So one of the best source is the blogs. Simply start reading blogs about some topic and you'll easily gain conceptual clarity. All right. And I give you some platforms like Medium and Towards Data Science. Right, Medium and Towards Data Science will basically cover Python, SQL, statistics, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, even Excel, right? You'll easily find blogs on these platforms related to all of these topics, right? So guys, I can see a lot of you are asking, let me make this very clear. Ebooks are not available from Data Train. We don't provide ebooks. All right, not available from Data Train. We do not provide any kind of ebook on any reference books. All right, you need to make a purchase of the books. Purchase books, right? And ebooks are also available on Amazon, right? These are also available. You can purchase an ebook if you wish to read from, let's say, Kindle or on your laptop or on your system. This is purely up to you. All right. Then I also gave you how you can read research papers related to machine learning and deep learning, and how you can resolve your errors on Stack Overflow and Data Science Exchange, right? And also gave you how you can practice your concepts or for the implementation in machine learning and SQL, right? So you can simply use HackerRank, CodeChef. There's another platform called Lead Code, right? You can simply practice your Python and SQL programming on these platforms, right? Books for reference already provided. To practice machine learning or machine learning model building, you can collect data from Kaggle. You'll easily get problem statement, right? And data set. So you can simply build your machine learning model around this problem statement to resolve this problem. All right. And then we also talk about what efforts are required from your end, right? So to practice and learn new concepts, you have to devote at least 4 hours on daily basis. All right. So these are the efforts that is required from your end, right? So these are a few things that we discussed. All right. And since this was your first session, I gave all the clarifications related to your course, related to how this course is structured and how it is going to proceed further. Let me discuss now the initial first 2 months of your course. All right. First 2 months of your course. Today is your first session, right? From tomorrow onwards, we'll be learning about basic statistics. All right. And we'll implement this basic statistics in Excel. All right. So I hope everyone has Excel in their system. If you do not have it, you can install Excel so that you can practice along, right? So guys, I've already informed, if anyone is not able to hear my voice clearly, simply rejoin the session. All right, simply rejoin the session if you're not able to hear my voice clearly. So most of your queries will be resolved. Right, so Excel, of course, you can use an online version of Excel as well, right? Google Sheets, for example, right? Or you can also use Office 365 online version. 365 online. All right. This is equivalent to working on Excel. All right. So from second session onwards, we'll discuss about basic statistics and Excel. Right. So basic statistics and Excel will last for 8 sessions. Right. So this is equivalent to 1 month. So this is in the initial first month, we'll learn about basic statistics and Excel. Moving on from second month onwards, the first thing that you're going to learn is the programming foundation. Right, programming foundation. Here you learn how to build logic in any programming language, how to build logic. All right. After this, you learn about SQL. This will consume your second month. Right now, after your second month, your Python will begin. Right, Python. After that, you'll learn about advanced statistics. Then you'll learn about machine learning. Right. This will consume, all of this will consume at least 2 to 3 months. Right. So this is basically your third month to fifth month. Right. This is duration. This is duration, and this is the time phrase or time frame. All right. So this is how your course is structured initially. All right. So this will consume your first month basic statistics and Excel. Your second month will consume, you'll learn about programming foundation and SQL. And from third month onwards, you'll learn about Python, advanced statistics, and machine learning. Right. So this is how your course is structured. And after this, you'll learn about more concepts and will walk you through how your course is going to be once your machine learning is completed. All right. So this is to clearly mention these are the duration for lessons. These are not the duration for your practice, right? The day your SQL is over, you can start practicing on the platforms that I've mentioned, and you have to practice until you get a job, and you have to practice after that as well. Right? With proper practice only, you'll be able to retain the knowledge. All right, so this is how your basic structured, your initial few months are structured in your course. All right, so from tomorrow onwards, we'll learn about statistics, basic statistics, right? And we'll see the implementation in Excel. All right, so yes, guys, so today we are wrapping up our session here only. And from tomorrow onwards, we'll proceed ahead with the technical discussions of the topics related to statistics. All right, so I'll be waiting for, let's say, for 5-10 minutes. If any one of you have any doubts, you're free to ask in the chat section, right? I'll be addressing your doubts. Otherwise, we are done for today's session. We'll proceed ahead with the technical discussions from tomorrow onwards. All right, so for the details of your internship, get in touch with the career coach team. All right, so okay, Power BI is not part of Excel. Power BI is a different tool, right? It is not part of Excel. Right, so this is already answered. Your Power BI is not part of Excel, right? Power BI is different. Right, so how to go through a research paper, we'll walk you through once your machine learning starts, right? Because even if I walk you through at this stage, you'll not get it very clearly how you can explore research papers to know about the latest algorithms those are published. Right, so guys already mentioned Power BI and Tableau is part of your electives. You'll get to select electives, right? So let the right time come. We'll walk you through how these electives are, right? And what is their importance in the industry, how they will benefit you, and so on. So please wait for the right time, right? We'll answer all of your doubts at the right time. All right, so typing speed is not required in if you are working in a technical industry, right? This is not typing speed has nothing to do with a data science related job or a data analyst related job, right? If you're working with programming languages, logical thinking is required, not your typing speed. All right, so for tomorrow, we'll be discussing about the descriptive statistics. All right, and I'll walk you through the topics. before we start tomorrow's session, right, I'll walk you through what all topics we are going to cover in the current session. For basically for every session, in the initial 5 minutes of the session, I'll walk you through what is the agenda and what are the topics that we are going to discuss in the current session. All right, and don't worry, we are starting since tomorrow is your first technical discussion on the topics, right? So we'll of course start with Scratch, right? I can give you this assurity what we are going to discuss tomorrow. Almost every one of you is aware of those things, right? So don't worry, we'll discuss everything in detail from scratch. All right, so guys, this is completely understood that most of you are from non-IT background, right? So do not worry, the course is structured in that way that with proper efforts and aligned efforts, persistency is required, right? If you practice one day and don't practice the other day, you'll not be able to cope up really fast. If you want to cope up fast, you have to practice every day, right? And everyday practice will clear your concepts. And once you are able to clear the concepts, it's not very hard to go through the course, right? Every one of you will be able to pursue this course very easily if you work enough hard. All right, so guys, I can see a lot of you are asking whether this is part of the course or not, or that is part of the course or not. So for all these queries, you simply connect with the career coach team. They'll give you a detailed curriculum of the course, right? I hope everyone has already received it, right? You just need to go through the curriculum, what all topics and what all modules will be covered in your course, right? So any any details related to your course, simply connect with the career coach team. They'll help you out. Right, so your classes are from on Saturdays and Sundays only, 9:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. IST, which is Indian Standard Time. I hope everyone has already received the schedule, right? So statistics related questions are not available on HackerRank and CodeChef. These are platforms for programming languages only, right? So since statistics is not a programming language, you have to learn statistics solely by going through the lectures. You can also go through the textbooks and blogs that I've already shared. All right, so what is the use of statistics in data science? We'll learn this with time. You'll get to know, right? Statistics, your data science is, your complete data science is statistics only, right? You'll get to know this with time. What exactly is the use of statistics in data science or machine learning, right? Your statistic or your data science is basically statistics only, but at a larger scale, right? So which is why statistics, I clearly mentioned that statistics is going to be the foundation of your data science or machine learning. All right, so basically there is no preparation required for uh, attending the sessions, right? These live sessions will cover everything from scratch. But yes, you need to go through the recordings of the live session once, maybe once it's uploaded in your LMS, right? So maybe on Monday or Tuesday, you can go through the recordings of the live session so that you get the clarity of the concepts. All right. Yes, guys. So I hope everyone's doubts have been addressed, right? For all the non-technical related doubts, you have to get in touch with the career coach team. If you're facing any issues with your LMS, if you're not able to log in, if you're not able to get the access, if you're not able to raise a ticket or any issue related to operations, please get in touch with the career coach team, right? For any doubts related to your course curriculum, what all topics will be covered, what all, let's say, modules will be covered, please get in touch with the career coach team. In the live session, I'll only be addressing subject matter related doubts. All right. So yes, guys, since we are not getting any more doubts, so we are wrapping up the session for today. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 9:30 p.m. IST, right? And we'll proceed ahead with the statistics discussion tomorrow. All right. So yes, thank you everyone for joining this session, right? And I wish every one of you a good night and all the best for your learning journey.